Hey guys, and welcome back to the official channel of Develop Development. And in this video we're going to talk about how to regenerate the earthly type. And why is it important to regenerate the earthly type, you ask? Well, let's explore. Quite simply, it's important for earthly people to regenerate because if they do not regenerate, what happens? Well, they get paralyzed, they stop taking care of themselves, they start making a lot of irrational and irresponsible sacrifices. In general terms, how do earthly people regenerate? I think the most important thing is for them to find environments that are full of harmony, gratitude, and comfort. They are ambiverts, but they lean towards introversion, meaning they tend to prefer medium to low stimulus environments, in particular social stimulus. However, they can enjoy every type of stimulus ranging from high to low as they're ambiverts. But more important than the level of social stimulus is the level of comfort and harmony. If they are in a conflict-fueled environment, it is very hard for them to be comfortable and happy. If they are in an environment that lacks harmony, or where just a single individual is uncomfortable, their entire focus will be on solving the problem and making those individuals affected happy. Earthly people love helping people and they're really selfless. It is very hard for them to put themselves first. So naturally, the first step in regeneration is helping others. But the key is to help people who are grateful and ready to receive help. If an earthly person wastes their time helping ungrateful people, it won't work. In a nutshell, find environments full of comfort, harmony, and gratitude. Okay, let's talk specifics. In Develop Development, we like to diversify regenerative spaces so that they really can help you throughout every single day and any single scenario. And the first category of regeneration of which we speak is active regeneration. Active regeneration is finding those activities, those environments, those actions that fill you with energy and inner peace. For earthly people, it's a combination of helping others and helping themselves. What do I mean by this? Earthly people are selfless. Their energy often is directed towards others, in particular with the intention to help other people, to solve problems for others, to protect others. They are very motherly, they're very nurturing. If they allow themselves to explore that side of their personality, they can regenerate a lot if those people that they're helping are grateful and ready and happy to receive the help. But earthly people cannot forget about their own personal needs. So it's also important that they find time and that they find certain spaces in which they can disconnect, unwind, recharge, lounge. It can be a spa, it can be getting a massage, it can be hanging out by the pool, it can be laying down watching Netflix all day. It can be any environment in which they can disconnect a little bit, where they can separate themselves from the high tension, high stress of some of the environments in which they generally spend time in. So one strategy is to fix and solve problems and help others, and another strategy is to go disconnect. The ideal scenario is combining those things, because no matter how far away you go from those areas or those environments that stress you out, let's be real, it's very hard to disconnect. So try to solve the problems you can and also know when to disconnect and unwind. Now let's get into the second category of regeneration, passive regeneration. To passively regenerate, one needs to take certain actions to optimize the spaces in which one spends a lot of time. This means look at your home, look at your car, look at your office. Try to find ways to make those spaces, those environments more comfortable for everyone, but especially more comfortable for you, so that by just being in those spaces, you fill yourself with energy and inner peace. One way of doing this is buying furniture that is very comfortable. And by just spending time on that furniture, you can breathe and regenerate and feel comfortable. And if you can make sure to find furniture that's not just comfortable for you, but also for your loved ones, that goes a long way. If you can include your loved ones in your decision making, that will make you feel less selfish and more generous. That way, you'll regenerate yourself both from a comfort and a harmony perspective. Another way to regenerate passively is to create spaces that really are inclusive, that are harmonious, that are regenerative for other people. Because let's face it, earthly people love to take care of people, earthly people love to regenerate others, and if they can create an environment that automatically regenerates their loved ones and their colleagues, that is a really, really powerful situation that unloads a lot of burden and a lot of stress from an earthly person. More concretely, if you can identify how to create a space that is regenerative for all the elements that live or spend time in that space, the better. In a nutshell, create comfortable, harmonious spaces for everyone. Another very important way to regenerate is to proactively regenerate. This is the third and final category of regenerative spaces. Proactive regeneration is thinking ahead a little bit, taking certain precautions, preparing for certain situations. We got into it a little bit when we talked about passive regeneration, that we could take certain steps in how we design our spaces that prevent problems in the future. However, if we look more specifically at proactive regeneration, one of the big things we talk about is how can you do the things you're already doing, but in a way that stimulates you in a more positive way. Just because you've become a parent, or just because you've entered a certain role at work, just because you have certain responsibilities, doesn't mean you have to sacrifice the things that regenerate you. And yes, you don't always have the luxury to be able to escape to an active regeneration, and you don't always have the luxury of being able to control or change aspects of your environment and passively regenerate as a result of it. And that's where proactive regeneration comes in. Certain ways to proactively regenerate is to plan ahead and prepare and bring things along with you to work, or make sure to buy certain things for the home that allow you to be ready for any situation so that you can solve any problem, because earthly people like solving problems. Moreover, earthly people also value comfort, and even if they're in an environment that's not so comfortable, let's say that in their work, sometimes they have to be in environments that are not so comfortable. If they wear clothes that have a lot of softness, very comfortable textures, that really can be regenerative, and they can be on a not so comfortable chair or a not so comfortable piece of furniture, but they can be caressing their clothes and regenerate. Earthly people are also very in tune with their senses. All their senses are very important. They can bring little essential oils and smell them. They can bring very delicious food and take time to pamper themselves with a very delicious meal. If they can stimulate their senses in a positive way, that can go a long way as well. Here's one very important personal recommendation from an earthly person who's lived it. It is very important to find that balance between helping others and helping yourself. And it is very important to identify that helping yourself is an investment in your ability and capacity to help others. Because if you neglect yourself, you will burn yourself out, you will lose yourself, and your resources will go down, and you will not be in a position to help others, and everyone loses. So here are my 4 tips to finding that balance and really becoming the best version of you. Tip number 1, take into account what they tell you in airplanes. When you board a plane, when they give you the security advisory message training thing that they do, they tend to tell you that the first thing you should do is put the oxygen mask on yourself if the cabin pressure goes down before putting it on loved ones. Because if you pass out while you are trying to help others and fail at helping them, then you all end up passing out, and you can all end up dying because you didn't take care of your basic needs first. Always remember that you need oxygen and you need basic fuel to be able to execute any task you desire, including helping others. Tip number 2, it is great to help others, but choose carefully who you're going to invest your time, energy, and resources on. Because if you waste your time, energy, and resources helping people who are ungrateful, or who constantly tell you that what you did isn't enough, or constantly are focused on what you haven't done yet instead of what you have done, then you're gonna feel like an absolute failure and you're gonna mismanage your resources and you're gonna collapse. Instead, focus on people who are grateful and ready for change and hungry with the desire of leveling up and who have the capacity to take your help and use that to really create a better life. Tip number 3. It is important to not cut people's wings in the process of taking care of them. Because as earthly people, we love being needed, we love helping people, but sometimes we overprotect and overhelp. And as such, we don't permit people to make the mistakes they need to make to learn. We don't even let them learn the basic skill sets they need to learn because we want to do everything for them. It is important to understand that if our goal truly is to help people, the focus should be on empowering them, not overprotecting. And tip number 4, it is essential to understand that regenerative spaces need to be used not only as a way to recharge, to be able to solve problems, or to be able to face the next thing, but truly regenerative spaces need to be seen as an investment in your own self-worth, in your own quality of life, in your own happiness, and that there's absolutely nothing wrong in doing things for yourself. Earthly people are very, very, very good at robbing themselves from regenerative spaces. I would like to ask you a personal favor. If this video has helped you, please take the time to write in the comment section below how you plan to spoil yourself, how you plan to regenerate, how you plan to change certain things in your life so that you don't forget about yourself. And also, I would like to hear your stories about times where you might have lost yourself or mismanaged resources, helping the wrong people who were ungrateful and weren't ready to receive your help, and how that made you feel. If you feel that this could help other people, being earthly myself, I would really appreciate it if you would share this video with someone who needs to hear this. And if you want to be notified when there are more of these videos, consider subscribing and ringing the bell. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up as well, because it helps me out greatly. And with that in mind, I will bid farewell and I'll tell you, see you in the next video.